creepy closet.
Oh man, I love Dick. Oh hey, it's me, Craig, and I'm in the closet. Today in the closet, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite toys of all time, My Pet Monster.
With My Pet Monster, you're busting loose.
He's big.
And scary.
And helps people too.
And he's your friend, too.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the original 80s toy and some of the more recent additions to the My Pet Monster franchise, to include a recent Pop edition and a even more recent Super7 reaction figure that's very special. Let's check them out. Yeah, My Pet Monster came out, I think, in the year 1986, and I got this guy, this specific one, in Christmas of 1986. Yeah, I look a little like Alex P. Keaton there, I don't know. The lovely Kia has nicknamed My Pet Monster, the one I have, specifically Larry. So we'll be calling him Larry for the duration of the video. But yeah, Larry normally wears this hat. Let's take it off. See, he's in pretty good shape, right? Not much wear and tear, but he does have some of the telltale problems I've seen in some of the original My Pet Monsters from the 80s, which are his hands are a little messed up, right? Some of the, I guess, paint or vinyl, whatever you want to call it, is worn off over the years. And to be honest, some of that is from storage. Poor Larry was tucked away for a while before I could rescue him and put him back in my house as an adult. Little dings here and there, but for the most part, he's in excellent shape. And My Pet Monster came from Amtoy, which was a division of American Greetings, the greeting card company. I think they were responsible for stuff like Care Bears as well. And I guess this was their attempt at making something a little bit more boy-centric in a plush toy. But if you watch the commercial, there's still girls that also are all into My Pet Monster. So I guess it was kind of unisex. As a kid, I always kind of imagined, you know, the shackles that he came with. It's almost kind of like a leash, right? You gotta put them on. Yeah. Gotta be like, sorry, Larry, you gotta, grandma's here, so you gotta wear the shackles for a while. And then he'd look at you and be like, really? Really? And you'd be like, no, go ahead and get out of them, Larry. Ha! And then grandma would be all like, oh. And a little bit like He-Man, the toy came first, and then later a TV show happened, a short-lived cartoon show. There's a really terrible live-action TV movie, I guess it went straight to video, that I rented as a kid and was really confused by, because I didn't like the origin that they provided for My Pet Monster, which they made its alter ego of a child that was possessed. Whenever he got hungry, he could turn into the My Pet Monster.
These statues possess the power to transform anyone who stands before them into monsters.
But I like the idea of My Pet Monster being like its own individual character that you could become friends with, not like, you know, your buddy became possessed by a monster. It's kind of lame. 2001, another company bought the rights to My Pet Monster, and they revamped it and re-released him with another type of design, and he could talk and stuff like that. But I definitely prefer the OG version. But I'm really surprised that for, you know, this decade, the roaring 2020s, that they haven't, someone hasn't bought the license again to My Pet Monster to try to revitalize the franchise, because I think a lot of parents and, at this point, even young grandparents would love to buy these for their kids. Or just have one for themselves because they couldn't get one back in the day. Yeah, and believe it or not, I actually saw this going for $400 at my local comic book shop. So I guess if you want to get a secondhand version of this now in 2021, you're going to pay a little bit. But luckily, I still have Larry. Yeah, and I also recently picked up this Funko Pop version of My Pet Monster, which I thought was pretty cool. This one's been out for a few months now. I think it came out right around Christmas 2020. Weighs a little more than the average Pop. I know a lot of toy collectors frown on Pops, but I do have several, mostly monster-style Pops, Universal monsters and horror characters, and a couple of superheroes like The Thing and the Hulk, because those are kind of my style. But I couldn't resist picking up My Pet Monster, so let's unbox this guy. Okay, here he is. All the Funkos have to have like zombie eyes. I guess they're cute when they're solid black, but when they're an alternate color, they end up coming off a little creepy, but I think it kind of fits this guy. He's nice and colorful and vibrant, and a great matchup for the original My Pet Monster. I guess if they made him standing, he would be one of the giant Funkos, right? But man, that would be cool if it was like a solid, I guess there's 6-inch versions of these characters. He's nice and heavy, so he's like a paperweight. Some cool detail on the fur. Okay, here's the My Pet Monster compared to a more standard issue Funko. This is, of course, Creature from the Black Lagoon. So you can get kind of an idea of how he looks side by side to your more average sized Funkos. It's a nice contrast, I think.
My Pet Monster has breakaway chains from Amtoy and American Greetings Company.
And finally, we have another impulse buy at my local comic book shop. This is a reaction figure from Super7 of My Pet Monster. This actually looks a lot like the video cassette for the live-action My Pet Monster straight-to-video movie that you could rent in the 80s that I mentioned. I couldn't resist picking this one up. It retails for about 25 bucks, and you should be able to find it at your local comic book shop and collectibles shop. You know, it has all these cool decals. It's a perfect kind of display piece right in the box. But let's take a closer look at it. Okay, here he is. Super cool logo. Old school looking dial television. Really fun decals. Here he is out of the box. You can see this My Pet Monster is flocked. He's fuzzy. And he does have the shackles. Let's see, did these shackles break? Oh, they sure do. So there you have it. Once again, I think Super7 knocks it out of the park because this is a great display piece, whether you want to do it like this and have the My Pet Monster outside of the television, or if you just want to keep him in the original packaging and have him kind of like bursting out of the television. Either way, I'm definitely going to display both. If you want a My Pet Monster, but you don't have $300 or $400 to spend on an original, like Larry back here, you can always pick up this Funko or this reaction figure from Super7, and this guy's only, 12 bucks. This one's only about $25. You should be able to find both very easily at your local comic book store, probably big box stores like Target, and you can kind of satiate your hunger for My Pet Monster. Remember, life is short and death is long. Until next time, I'm Craig and he's Larry, and we'll be in the closet.